Hi, we're here today with Aviva Allen, a kids nutritionist, and we just have some questions for you that's on every mom's mind. The first question that I have is, how do you introduce solids, and what do you typically introduce first?
Okay, well, it's a good question because there tends to be a lot of confusion in this area. People are hearing different things from their doctors, from their family, from their friends. So the first thing I like to tell people is don't stress about it too much.
Right.
It's really just all about introducing your child to new foods, new textures, letting them explore. Don't worry so much about how much they're actually eating. In terms of what to introduce when, I tend to personally recommend fruits and vegetables as something to start with. But, another thing to remember is waiting 3 or 4 days between new foods, and this way you can tell if there's any kind of reaction. Exactly, that's important.
And so I think it's interesting, first of all, that you said to start with fruits and veggies, because I know with my daughter that we started with cereals, typically rice cereal, which I know there's a little bit of talk about arsenic in cereals. And so why do you suggest doing fruit and veggies over cereal, for instance?
Well, first of all, it's something that people ask about too is should I introduce vegetables before fruits, because fruits are sweet and they don't want their child to have a sweet tooth. And actually breast milk or formula is even sweeter than fruit is. So children are used to that. Are used to that taste, and giving them a familiar sweet taste as a first food, it makes them more interested in food, period. And they tend to enjoy that a lot better.
Right.
And another issue is your child's digestive system and how it matures. So at 6 months, or sometimes people are introducing a little bit sooner, you don't have all the right enzymes to break down grains properly. So that's a concern that I have with starting with the rice cereal.
And what about, I know that when I was starting to do veggies and I pureed it, I would add a little bit of homemade chicken soup stock. What do you suggest in terms of that?
Yeah, I think that there's nothing wrong with doing that. If it's something homemade, you want to be careful of adding extra salt or things like that. Yeah, and if it's a store-bought chicken stock, sometimes there are, different additives.
Right. Okay, so we're with Aviva Allen today, a kids nutritionist, with some questions that we have that's on moms' minds. One of them is dealing with picky eaters and how to sneak those veggies in, or not sneak it in so much. Just wanted to get your take on it and what recommendations you have for moms.
Sure. Well, kids, I find, tend to start to become picky around 18 months to 2 years. So as much as you, preventatively speaking, as much as you can introduce them to beforehand, it tends to help with that.
Right.
If you're already in the stage where your kids are picky, sneaking vegetables and fruits into their food is one way to go about it. But I find it's important to remember it shouldn't be the only way you can get them to eat fruits and vegetables. You still want to be offering it and presenting it in their whole form.
So if they're not eating it, I know I have a few mom friends that they can't get their kids to eat it. Do you suggest still having it on their plate every meal, just so that they're familiar and that they're used to it, even if they don't touch it or eat it?
Definitely, and they should also see you eating it and enjoying it too. And I encourage people to involve their kids as much as they can in the whole process of eating, even from the point of cooking, shopping for ingredients, and if you can, plant a garden, a vegetable garden in your backyard, and get them involved in actually growing it, pulling it out of the ground, and it gets them more excited about food and more involved,
and it's trying new foods.
Yeah.
And so what type of foods, if you were to sneak it in, I know you're not in love with the idea, but what type of foods would you say that you could make for your kids that would be,
well, it doesn't hurt to add them wherever you can. So whether that's including vegetables into a tomato sauce, pureed soups, if your child will eat those, even putting fruits and vegetables into smoothies, into baked goods like muffins are a great place to add them in. For some kids who are motivated by rewards, there are different methods that you can use to encourage them. Usually I find it doesn't work until they're at least 4 years old. But there's something like this, the healthy eating chart.
Oh, that's so cute.
And you can download it on my website. But it's a reward chart, and the rewards are always non-food rewards. So you're not telling them, oh, you eat healthy and then you can have a piece of chocolate cake after. But something non-food related, like my older son picked a trip to the science center as one of
Right.
his rewards,
Right.
and you'd be surprised how motivated they can become.
Be.
You know, my son has tried things that he would never, or that I would never have imagined he would,
Right.
simply because he really wanted the prize for that week.
And I know that, you know, you're a nutritionist and you're pretty healthy, and I keep healthy things in my own home. But as far as, you know, keeping foods, I know that a few of my friends that grew up very healthy and their parents wouldn't let them have any type of snacks, that sometimes they, you know, went crazy every time there was a snack that was bad, you know? Do you think that it's good to have a balance of, like, you know,
I think the treats should be saved for special occasions. It's ideal if you can keep it out of your house altogether.
Right.
You know, and save it for those other situations like birthday parties
Right.
or
Not that type of stuff.
it's empty. I see.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And what is your website so people could go and
It's
visit?
www.avivaallen.com.
Okay.
And there's lots of recipes on there, kid-friendly recipes. You can download this chart for free, and there's other, you know, health-related articles too.
All right, great. Thank you so much for being here. And you could check out Aviva's website as well. And we will be featuring her continuously on our own website at Pink and Blue and our future magazines.
Aww.
And thank you so much. And thank you, Solomon, for being here too.
You say bye-bye to camera?
No.
Nope.
No?